right, guys, so this is day one of our cabin retreat. We decided to, we as in Greenlit ATL and Cass Seegers, Gracie Award-winning NAACP nominated writer extraordinaire Cass Seegers, has partnered with us, Greenlit ATL, and we decided to do a writer's retreat here in the North Georgia mountains in a cabin. So we are all checked in. Our writer should be arriving shortly. I'll show you guys around the cabin. So we have Cass's workbooks and journals. We have a gift for everybody from Greenlit ATL. Here is the cabin here. It's a cute cozy cabin. We've got our chef, Kirsten, cooking. Oh yeah, it's about to go down. It is about to go down. Yeah, it's going down. We are gonna eat good. We are gonna learn. It's gonna be a phenomenal weekend. I will take you all with me on the journey. But this is what we do, man. We execute. We set plans and set visions and we get it done. Look how pretty it is outside. Beautiful. People are starting to arrive. One of our first guests just arrived. It's gonna be a phenomenal 2-day weekend going over all things writing, script, structure, genre, log lines, treatments, character development, story arcs, all of the things that Cass will be teaching this weekend. So stay tuned, guys. I'm gonna take you guys along the whole weekend. Having this morning, and we'll do a prayer.
All right, so we have some fruit. So we're gonna have strawberries, pineapple, oranges, and bananas today. Then I made a strawberry cheesecake biscuit and some turkey sausage muffins and some salmon hash. So that has peppers and onions in it. The turkey sausage is turkey and it has cheese and eggs. And then it's like a cream cheese type of filling for the biscuit. So.
Awesome. Thank you, Chef. Thank you.
Cass, you want to do some prayer?
I don't. I would love for you to.
Heavenly Father, we just thank you, God. We thank you that you get to use us today and we get to be used, oh God. We thank you for Cass and for this vision, oh God. We thank you for everyone who sowed into themselves and invested into themselves. We hope that this is a life-changing weekend. We thank you for friendship and fellowship and new relationships to come, oh God. We just ask that when Cass speaks today and this weekend that we hear you, oh God. And we just ask that we have longevity and success in the callings that you have over all of our lives, oh God. We thank you, God, and give you all the praise and all the glory. Thank you for Chef Key. Thank you for this food. Let it be safe to the nourishment of our bodies. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
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 All right, we can dig in, ladies. We can dig in. There's condiments here. There's hot sauce, ketchup, syrup. Feel free to take all the content that you want.
Is this just orange juice? It's just orange juice.
It's just orange juice.
Oh, okay. Of whatever movie you want, and hopefully, you may be able to find it in there. You have sometimes the writer, and they'll tell you, like, this is what I meant. This is how I wanted the movie to go. This is how I would break down the movie. So with the movies that you guys are writing and the projects you guys are writing, does anybody not understand where your story fits? Like what genre it would fit under? That would be no. Everybody understands? Right?
I'm a little confused on mine.
Okay. Why?
It is a drama, but as I was looking at some of these, I'm trying to figure out where my protagonist is going with this.
So you haven't done your outline.
I haven't done it because, like I said, I didn't know to do that. The story just popped in my head, and I started writing because the dialogue was there.
Yeah, that's what happens.
So then I started going back to the action, and then I changed my character.
Yeah, because you didn't.
Right, because
Yeah.
I didn't have an
Right.
outline, and then I sat down and said, okay, considering where I am, I kind of like the dialogue, where could this story go?
Yeah. So yeah, so now knowing this, you'll know you need to know your beginning, and middle, and end.
Yeah.
And now you can go back and then it'll help you with everything else. So yeah, now you can work it a little bit backwards. But that does happen, and I'm definitely not saying if it hits you and dialogue hits you, don't not write, but that don't start your script. Like that's why I have books with just random talk and random sayings and random things, because it'll be a character, the dialogue will hit me, but I don't have a story for it yet.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What is this outline you keep referencing?
We haven't gotten there yet.
Oh, okay.
I promise you, half my notes of people, they be so sick of my notes. I be like, what's the purpose of this scene? What's the purpose of this scene? Like, that's usually my biggest note. Because as a writer or we come up with funny situations and funny scenarios, and we just want to put them in there. Because they're funny, and they're this, and comedy is where you find it the most. But it's like, that is not what a sing-along. And so I'm not saying don't get rid of your scene, but you gotta find purpose in that scene. You gotta add a line, give a purpose, you gotta have something to get that scene moving the storyline. And that's a huge note. And that's a note you give to yourself. When I go back and read things, I'm always like, what's the purpose of this scene? Like, I'm like, that's why I put this scene in here. And if I can't find a reason, I either take it out or I change the scene. I have heard that if you don't have a log line, you don't have a story. I say that I've heard it because there are times that I've had a story and I didn't have a log line, because I just did an outline, and I started writing, and I started doing this, but I couldn't figure out how to put it into the small sentence. And then there are times that I started with just that, and I was able to do my story. But I can say that if you have it all completely done, and you still don't know your log line, then 9 times out of 10, something's wonky with your story.
Yeah.
If you can't
No specificity.
You can't say within 2 sentences what your story is about, and you're kind of like, I don't know, and it's kind of this and it's kind of that, then 9 times out of 10 your story has wandered. Nothing wrong. I'm trying to figure out what that is.
You can't do that here.
No, you really can't. But when I looked up, I was like, what is that? It just looked like a mess, but it's not. It's more. Okay. So a log line, 1 or 2 sentence description that boils the script down to its essential dramatic narrative in as a succinct a manner as possible. So it should tell you something. So a log line needs to contain a protagonist, an antagonist, and the conflict. It must tell you something about the character. Use adjectives. It must set up the story, but don't give away too much of the ending. And between 35 to 50 words, that describes your screenplay, setting, plot, and sometimes your genre.
Right.
And that's a lot. And they're not easy. They're not easy to do. I've rewritten log lines, I've done log lines, they've been too long, they've been too short, they don't describe the story. Especially if you're doing it before you write your movie. But here's the thing about pitching. If you haven't written it and you pitch an idea, they want to know what your log line is. So that's why it's really good to master it. And there are things that I've come across and I'm like, man, it'd be a really good story if this person was doing blah, 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 blah. And I'll write it up as a log line, never wrote the script, and then I'll work the log line, and then I'll pitch it, and then they're like, I really like that, you should write more. Then I'll do a treatment. Or then I'll do, a little bit longer. And as you become a professional writer, and you don't have to prove yourself with a script, you want to get better with the log line. Because I don't write scripts anymore. I don't just write scripts on spec and sell scripts. I literally sell off of treatments and log lines. Because they know I can write. So that's where you want to get to. You want to get to a place where they don't question whether you can write or not. They just question whether your idea is good. Yes?
What's a treatment?
A treatment is a summary.
Okay.
So a summary is literally a beginning, a middle, and end of your movie. Now, you can write a treatment that's just a 1 page and it's not broken down into acts, which is what I would, if you're a newer writer, you would do that. Only because you don't know your act breaks. You don't know where the act break should start beginning. If you're a more advanced writer, then when I write treatments, I literally write down act 1, act 2, act 3. These are everything that's happening in their acts. Because I know what should be, and again, we're going to go through all of this. We're going to go through act breaks and what should happen at the end of an act break. But if you're newer, just a page. But in this page, I need a beginning, a middle, and an end. don't, for the log line, yes, you don't give away the end, but for a treatment, I need to know everything that's happening in your story. Don't leave me hanging. If you want me to buy your story, you're not pitching it, but you want me to give you money to make your movie, I need to know how it begins, middle, and end.
Nothing about a shot list? You just gotta know the story?
Yeah. I want a shot list for it. Yeah.
Not in the treatment.
Not a treatment. No, shot list comes once you know you're about to make the movie.
Okay.
And now you need a shot list, because if you're directing, see the thing is, you're so brilliant, you shot, you shoot, direct, you camera, so your mind is already into, I'm shooting the movie. But from a writing standpoint, most writers don't even know nothing about a shot list, they don't know. And if you're not directing it, and you're pitching it to a studio, if you have shot lists on there, they automatically assume, oh, you think you're directing this movie? How dare you, you know what I mean? But as an independent, if you are, this is like the two different worlds that you have to toggle. Let's say I have $100,000 and I'm like, I'm gonna give you $100,000 to make your movie. So you can put all of that, you can put your treatment in there, and then if you have a special way of how you want it shot and how you want this, you could sell that to me more, because now I need to, especially if you're trying to sell me as a writer-director, I wanna make sure you know what you're talking about. But it wouldn't go in your treatment unless it is something that's so important to the story, meaning it's somebody that, I don't know, like, okay, what was the movie with Denzel and he couldn't see, he was blind. Book of Eli.
Yeah.
So like the Book of Eli, it was very stylized, the way it was written in the color. Like, let's say in that movie he was blind, but in your opening of your treatment, you want to close up on these eyes, and the eyes are blank or gray or whatever. That is pertinent to the story, because it's a story about a blind man.
Right.
So then you can put that in there. But if it's just pan across the room, like, no.
So you wouldn't say blind, you wouldn't just say the word blind, you just be more descriptive.
Yeah, you can be more descriptive. And in your treatment, you don't have to be as descriptive as in your script. Because I just need you to tell me what the story's about. You can be as descriptive as you would in any creative writing, but you don't have to paint the world as colorful as you would in a script. You understand what I'm saying? Or in the way that you would write as a script. I just need what the story's about, the beginning, the middle, and the end. And you gotta sell me on the story. And at the top of that is a log line. And the log line is important because most time people won't even get to read your little treatment. Like, you have to think about, if you're pitching and you have the opportunity to be with somebody, like you guys did at Greenland, and you had 60 seconds to tell your story. And remember when I was going through why I didn't pick certain people, I was like, his setup was too long. Like, he just went on and on for 40 seconds, he gave me the whole setup, so he ran out of time, and at the end he's like, this happened. It's like, now I don't care, your setup was too long, it took too long to pitch your movie. What is it about?
What's the other type of treatment too? You got the one pager, just for us to know. What's the other?
Yeah, I mean, it's still a treatment, it's a summary. People call it a treatment, some people call it a summary. It is some people outline it, so it's not that it's another type, it's how detailed you want to be. But the more detailed you are, don't be detailed if you don't know what you're doing. So for Hallmark, they do everything in 9 acts. That's just how they act. None of my 9. No, the other networks don't do 9 acts. Some do 3, some do 5. So if you have a client, you have to cater to that client. So if I'm doing a treatment or an outline for Hallmark, I have to do 9 acts. I have to say what's happening in every single act, all the way down from 1 to 9. Because they know at Act 5, they want this particular thing to happen for their client, for their reader. Act 3, they need a love story to come in. Act 4, but I know their formula, so I have to write the treatment that way. If I were having you guys say, hey guys, Hallmark needs something, I need a treatment for it, I wouldn't expect you to write it in 9 acts. You don't know their formula. Just give me a blanket, or if you're pitching it and you're a newer writer, you just have to do twice the work. They're gonna be like, I need the treatment to pitch the treatment. We like the treatment, we want a green light, or we want to move forward. They're gonna say, okay, now I need it in 9 acts. So that, I just skip the first step. But I wouldn't recommend that you skip the first step, again, unless you know the format. Because any little thing, you have to think about it when you're pitching and you're going to networks and executives, they're looking at 1,000 things. They're just gonna find anything to cross you off the list. They don't know the structure. And not that that's a bad thing, they just don't have time to teach you the structure. So get in the door with something that they really like, and then they like you enough to maybe be invested into being like, okay, they don't know the structure, but it's fine, they can get there. So don't try to do more than what you are capable of doing. do the best at what you have. But it all starts with a log line and a summary. And the log line is usually what gets people in the door. If you just have a few seconds to tell somebody about your story, give them a log line. And then they're like, oh, okay, that's cute. Like, do you have more? So.
I've heard that sometimes when it comes to log lines or like pitching, if you use two movies, like if you say it's Jaws, but with a line.
Yeah, I've heard it's good, I've heard it's bad. I don't know, I mean, a lot of people do it, but then it can bite you in the foot if they're overdosed, and they don't even know what dog is.
Well, like I've seen clues, we said it's Ocean's 11, they set it off.
Right, but the reason why I feel like we had the advantage of saying Ocean's 11 and set it off is because we knew we hadn't seen set it off in 11 some years. Like, what are they gonna say? We know heist movies do well. We know they hadn't seen a black heist movie with females in so long. So now, like give me something that's like, and you might give it something that's like, they might look up the numbers and be like, oh, that didn't do well. But now you're like,
oh, we don't want to see that again.
we don't want to, or they're like, you don't want to see that again. Or they're be like, oh, that's great, I've been wanting to remake that. But it's, it's a toss-up. It's 50-50, you don't know. Here's the
You see
thing,
that with books though.
taglines are more of a question than log lines. So taglines are marketing, they're for marketing, they're slogans. So you see question marks with taglines. So I would just word it so that, again, it's more affirmative. It is the immigrant that gets caught in a shipping container and is pregnant and has a child and blah, blah, blah.
What movie was that?
Nowhere. Yeah, when I say Nowhere was good, like at first it started off a little and I was like, but then once she got in that thing, I was like, oh my gosh, she's gonna die. She's gonna die. Like it had me on it. So yeah, I would say that's more of the tagline of the long line. And I would, again, challenge you guys. I have a lot of answers, guys, but I don't have all of them. So if you find it somewhere written that somebody brilliant said never end it with a question, let the group know. Like, we shouldn't do this, guys. We shouldn't end in a question, and here's where it's written. But I definitely haven't seen log lines with questions. I've seen taglines with it. Exercise. Take 5 of your favorite movies and write log lines. And then go find the log lines and see how closely compared, how closely they are. How close. Because there could be, it's obviously not the one way to write it, but see how close your log line is. And then obviously write it for your project that you have. And then I would just do exercises like, for me, an exercise is I'm always writing log lines in my head of just different scenarios and things that happen or things that happen to me. And I'm like, oh man, this would be a great movie. This would be a great log line. How is a log line different from a tagline? Tagline is a piece of marketing. Copy designed to sell the film. So, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. One man struggle to take it easy. That's a tagline. They don't tell us nothing about the film. We laugh at it. It's a slogan, but it's definitely, you see how it's different from a log line of a high schooler that skips his senior year and whatever. Or I don't know if it's a senior year. 40-year-old version. The longer you wait, the harder it gets. That was on the poster. A lot of the taglines you see on the posters. You hear them. Like they'll say it like at the end of the commercial if there's a voiceover, the tagline might be the last thing that you hear on the commercial. And I think a lot of times people do confuse, like I've heard people say tagline when it really was a log line, or they'll give, vice versa, give the opposite. So, just so when you're pitching, don't say, oh, let me give you the tag. Let me give you the tagline. Don't say that. Because nobody wants to hear that. That comes after. Nobody wants to hear it first. You know what I mean? You have to give your log line, and then you can be like, oh, and the tag is blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? To make them laugh. But, you definitely, a lot of times, again, keep thinking, again, knowing the tools, knowing the right verbiage, knowing the right language, because this is a business where they use anything to discredit you.
Oh, yeah.
So my job is to make sure you're using the right words and the right language. So when you're doing a pitch, even if you sound more intelligent than what you really are, you want to sound more intelligent. 9 times out of 10, you're not even creating taglines. The writers. It's usually after the film is sold, it's the executive, it's the marketing team, it's this. I'm giving you the information so you don't say, we run around here talking about, here's the tagline. Because I hear it all the time, and I'll be like, is it a tagline? Like, what are you getting ready to give?
It's like Snickers, why wait? Well, you see that why
Snickers,
wait?
yes.
That's the tagline.
That's the tagline.
Okay.
Nike, just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah. Okay.
It's something to
Burger
brand.
King, have it your way.
Yeah.
It's just a
So
brand.
everything has a tag. It's a slogan. That's it. But movies have them as well. But I just, because you hear the word confused and it's always, transverse, it's always transposed. I just want to make sure you guys know the difference. Don't boggle your mind. The tagline might not come to after you've written the whole thing, got the movie shot, and you're like, this is great. Like, oh, I just came up with this thing. We were on set and you thought of it. You see the whole movie, then you think of it. So it's not anything you should really be concerned with at the beginning when you're writing the script. You should be concerned with your log line.
Okay.
Because if you don't know your log line, you don't know your story. You don't know how your story beginning, middle, and end. You don't know what your story's about.
But when you're creating your treatment, your tagline could be in the treatment.
It could be,
Yeah.
but it's probably gonna change.
Okay.
I don't ever worry about the tagline. I don't think I've ever created a tagline.
Copy.
Yeah.
Because
I just don't worry
we
about it.
created the treatment for petty claims court, we had a log line, but then we had also a tag. It was like where no claim is too petty.
Yeah, but you know why you did that? Because you also shot it, you put it, you out there, and you marketed it.
Yeah.
So it made sense for you to have that.
Yeah.
It made sense for you to have that because that's a hashtag. That's a thing. You know what I mean? You're in a whole different world.
Gotcha.
But
Day one of the writers' retreat. First little intermission break.
Different. It made me look at it different. So just when you write, it's just like, wait a minute. Because when you write, you're like, you just.
So in the movie Life with Eddie Murphy and Martin,
uh-huh.
Eddie Murphy was the antagonist.
I think that might have been both. I feel like Eddie Murphy was the antagonist. Wait a minute, what was Life? Weren't they who was trying to get out of jail? Who was trying to get out of prison?
But Martin Lawrence's character got caught up in some stuff he had nothing to do with because of Eddie Murphy. And Eddie Murphy ended up getting them both in jail for life.
But what's the movie about?
Them
trying to escape the whole movie.
So why would Eddie Murphy be the antagonist? The antagonist would be the guards that are trying to find them. The antagonist might be the system. The antagonist in 12 Days a Slave, it was the law.
But that's why I felt like Eddie Murphy was the antagonist because he stopped Martin had a whole life plan and he stopped him.
And he kept getting in his way.
But they took the journey together.
But the journey was to get out of prison.
So who was the antagonist in that movie?
So, I honestly don't even remember the movie. It's the system.
The man.
That's the journey, getting out of prison.
So I feel like Eddie Murphy's the one that landed him in jail.
Yeah.
That was their inciting incident that got them in jail, which then started their journey.
Okay.
So their journey, the whole movie, wasn't about Eddie Murphy stopping him. Eddie Murphy was just the sidekick protagonist that was causing all the stakes.
Okay.
But he wasn't trying to keep him in jail.
Right.
If Martin's journey
He
was
kept
to
doing
get
dumb
out,
shit to stand in his way though.
but
So they're both protagonists?
whose story was it? It might have been they both were protagonists, but I would say that they probably both were protagonists, just based off of what you're saying, but I would have to really watch the movie.
Okay.
They took their journey together and they kept trying to break out together.
It's all about the journey.
Okay.
Whatever happened is the incident that got them in a bad situation. And then from that moment, the protagonist is trying to fix it, to go back to the status quo, or get to another level. So whatever that journey is, whoever is keeping them from that journey, whether it be the system, whether it be a hurricane, whether it be a bad guy, whether it be the best friend who's jealous, whatever it is. And in the case of very well-written, intelligent movies such as A Fight Club, where the protagonist and the antagonist was the same person, and I actually had to take a class because they were doing this whole breakdown of Fight Club, and they broke it down, and I was like, oh man, I never thought about it, because he was his own enemy. That was keeping him, his whole thing is he was fighting, but he had a conscience that was trying to be like, this isn't right, and I shouldn't be doing this. So that was the twist in that movie, but most movies aren't crafted like that. There is one person that's trying to do this, and there's one person that's trying to catch him or keep him from doing that. And so I feel like Life, it was a buddy comedy. It couldn't be Eddie Murphy's antagonist. The antagonist was the people they were running from, the system that was trying to keep them locked up.
Okay.
So, when you're writing a story, always ask, who is the protagonist in your story? Who is he or she? What is driving them? What is their motivation? To find love, to get out of love, to get out of a haunted house, to make it out alive, to find their child, to whatever, to just make it through Friday. So again, the exercise is, and I know the ones I know, and I know the ones that are obvious, and the ones that I've studied, but there are obviously, people are always coming up with new crazy ways to tell a story, tell a movie. So the exercise is, take a film you love, and pick out the protagonist and the antagonist. 9 times out of 10, you can find it online. Some movies you can't find them online. Or you can Google movies with multiple protagonists and then be like, oh, and then go watch that movie.
Okay, so we are just about to end day 1 of the writer's retreat. It's going so well. The information that we're going over is priceless, like literally years of a wealth of knowledge in the work booklet that we're working from, produced by Miss Cass Seegers. Everyone's having a phenomenal time. The chef just got done with dinner, so we're about to have dinner. We're about to eat real good. The chef's food is so good. We had an amazing breakfast this morning. It was so good. Bree done missed the breakfast. She's a little late, but she's here. How are you? What is happening so far? Are you having a great time? Are you learning?
First of all, it feels so fall.
For sure.
It feels like, okay, I'm glad I wore a hoodie.
Sure.
I brought our blanket, so I'm glad to be like,
we're gonna be cozied up tonight. Yeah.
But it's been really great, like so much great information. I feel like Cass, I really like how she gave us a book.
Yes.
The workbook.
Tangible, we could see.
Yeah, with everything. So I'm like, she's teaching the workbook, but also like we're following along. We can take notes, we can highlight what she's saying, we can ask questions.
Yeah.
She's giving us examples. Even in the workbook, it has examples. So I feel like this is a workbook I'm going to use every single time I get ready to write a script.
This is my writer's Bible now.
Yep.
Not getting rid of it. But yeah, so we're about to have dinner. The ladies are having an amazing time. We're going to wake up in the morning and do a nature walk, a nature hike for those who want to come. It's a little cold out here, so we're going to keep on our little jackets. But yeah, so I'll keep you guys posted on what happens next. Cass, how are you feeling? We're almost at the end of day 1.
I feel good.
Yeah.
I feel accomplished.
Yes.
I feel like I'm giving people tools and they are going to be better.
Yes, absolutely.
That makes me feel good.
Good. You feel good? I feel good. Brain, how you feeling? Day 1.
Day 1 has been awesome. I've learned so much. I can't wait till next year because this is what the first annual.
First annual, the inaugural.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those last little cobwebs out.
Okay, we're doing an early morning hike. Doing a team stretch right now, led by Lon Ray. Stretching us out.
Woo! All right, you guys ready?
Good morning, good morning. Day 2 of the retreat. We are about to do a nature walk.
Let's go.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Okay, so we are in day 2 of the writer's retreat. We are going on a nature walk / hike, or whatever this is gonna be. Everybody in the team didn't make it. Everybody in the team didn't make it, but we're the strong ones. Many are called. Hey, Cass. All right, guys, we're going on a walk out here in LJ, Georgia. It's beautiful out here. Cabin is amazing.
I think, isn't what you said?
We're gonna walk this dirt road.
No, don't do that for real.
Listen, y'all, if I don't make it back on this dirt road, this is the same road that Forrest Gump was running on. If I don't make it back, y'all come find me. I'm in LJ, Georgia.
Don't do that.
47 West.
Yeah, my coordinates are. So Lon Ray has us going through the real woods when there was a perfectly paved path, but he wants us to be going through lions and tigers and bears. So this is what we're doing on day 2 of the writer's retreat. This is how we're spending our morning. We're definitely gonna get our creative juices flowing. Let's create a story, guys.
My mind is like going.
13 women went to a writer's retreat. And now we're in Georgia. Okay, we got
Exterior cabin day.
Are you guys going to be able to get up this? Make sure everybody can get up that.
everybody good?
Yeah, I hope so. There's a little hill right here.
It's a little here.
All right, hold on, because that little incline, you got to make sure everybody can get up that.
Oh, a little fox den. So it looks like we have come upon a hunting trap.
On the woods.
I guess it's where people sit up here. People sit up here to look out and to hunt, and right now it's bear hunting season.
You found a hunting perch?
Oh, that what it's called, a hunting perch?
I believe so. It's where the hunters perch and look and stay quiet and look for their prey.
That's a little scary.
Oh, wow.
I ain't gonna look down.
Be careful.
Camouflage. You see how it's camouflaged in the woods?
Y'all, that's scary, hello key.
And they get up there. It's
Well, the scary part about it, it feels like makes me feel like we're awfully close to something that
And then they take their rifles and they look around for whatever they're going to be hunting.
Wow.
That's pretty dope.
So it depends on what the season is, what they're hunting. It could be deer. It's usually for food or sport, so they don't usually hunt bears for food or sport.
Chef Key, what do we have today? Okay, so these are going to be, if you want a mimosa here.
Okay.
The left side has alcohol, the right side does not.
Okay.
Just so you're aware. So we're gonna have fruit today. We're gonna have apples, grapes, kiwis, and bananas. Then we have some French toast. And we have turkey bacon, chicken sausage. There's 3 different kinds. We have apple, spinach, and chicken. And then this one has peppers and cheese in it on this side. And then potatoes and eggs.
Awesome. And whew, all right. Vlogger. Let's give him vlog.
Everybody has that duality of good and bad, but now I know it has like a specific character title.
Yeah.
And how to incorporate that. I think a lot of my characters in my head are anti-hero.
Yeah.
Probably. Knowing you, probably.
Yeah.
For me, it was the arcs because I started looking at my own little script and I was like, what arc does this fall into? And then I was like, can I have 2 arcs? Because it seems like I got 2 arcs. And then I remembered what you said. I said, I need to simplify this because obviously it's going in different directions. So I was very thankful for the arcs.
I'm gonna naturally, I tried to pay more attention to the writing, but I just kept getting drawn back to the camera. So if you notice, the ankles and the shots are very, very important. That tells a whole story in itself.
Very intentional.
When she was insecure and trying to discover herself, you would always tell her close-up was always a medium close-up. She was always small and there was a lot of head space over her head. The way, when she got confidence and she started dating that the police officer, yada, 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 her close-ups then became on the right side of frame and it pushed in and she was larger. So she established her power. Then when she lost it, we back to the same thing. Because I thought that was a theory, but I was like, let me prove it to myself. Same thing. Then towards the end, what did she do? There was a car shot where she's talking to a police officer.
Yeah.
She's now larger. And that was
the way they shoot. Yeah.
and
they
it
shot
was
up.
exactly.
so good.
And that was like, I was like, oh yeah. I like
That's directing. I mean, that's all in directing and direction.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you'll get a writer director that will write that direction in there, but your job is to write. She's more powerful. Like, you know, the power. You know, she's gained more confidence. Remember how we talked about yesterday visually? We were like, okay, don't say things. You don't have to say things to set up your story. Within the first like 5 minutes, you knew who she was.
And her homegirl.
When she walked past her bakery that was shut down, like that stood out to me.
And even the first scene, she goes into the bathroom, she gets her face and her makeup and stuff all done. Then she lays back in bed all perfect, as though she hasn't, like she just woke up. Like that instantly tells you, oh, she's insecure.
Right.
Yeah.
Or she's trying too hard.
Who she
She's
is.
trying, she's not confident who she is. She's faking. Yeah. You know what I mean? For whatever reason, and then we learn, oh, she's faking for this guy. You know.
Was it the fancy party when she pulled up in her old beat up car?
The friends, was it engagement party?
Yeah, the engagement party. When she pulled up in the beat up car and she pulled up to valet, it was that like, oh, I don't want to valet this car.
Yeah.
The way she got out, the way she walked in was like, oh, I don't know if I'm good enough to be here. Like all these
Right.
fancy people and fancy
That
cars.
was so.
Her car was beat up.
Yeah.
The car was so
They right there to get it out, you know. But
Right.
once she got in the room, her stance changed a little bit too. When she got like away from the car and actually in the party, she was like, all right, let me pretend,
Right.
putting on that pretend again.
Yeah.
That's a movie though that hit it all around the park because even in acting class, we've had to do those scenes.
Oh, it's one of those movies.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's that one. Good. Well, honey, there are movies that you're like,
everything. checks the box.
everything checks the box. You know, and she wrote the movie. Kristen Wiig was one of the writers.
she wrote it?
She was one of the writers. 2 writers.
Oh, wow.
That's her and the writing part. They have
The lead?
The lead.
Oh, okay.
Kristen Wiig.
Yeah. So, all right, we're moving on. Today we are on page 17. We're going to start with exposition.
17.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And you don't have to be exactly within these page numbers. It's a roundabout. Like, there are people that are like, oh, it's exact. But this is like based off of kind of the plot points and the round, like within a page or two. But you don't want to have your inciting incident come in page 25.
And to do something out of the box, it's like you really gotta be well equipped with what's in the toolbox first.
You do, and I'm gonna tell y'all this. If you don't have a manager or agent, if you're not well connected, if you're not in the system, if you don't have somebody to really give you a lot of money,
Or got a lot of money in yourself to put in.
I'm not saying don't be creative. Be creative, but give yourself grace to get to that place. Like Steven Spielberg's not my father. I don't have these connections. I don't know who produced Napoleon Dynamite or how it got done. I don't get into the backstory on it. But those type of movies get made because somebody's already in the system and they get connected and they get this.
So
I would not encourage you to make a black. I'm not saying it wouldn't be successful. A black Napoleon Dynamite and put it out there. The reason, not for your first film. I mean, unless you're just super again out there hustling and you get it in a festival and you get it made and you get it. But if you do it, get you a star to be in it. I wouldn't say do it and then put me and Eva in it. You know what I mean? Just because
We talking about the star.
you are a star. You are a star. You are. And the world will one day give you all the star blockbuster running credits that you need. But it's just challenging. It's coming.
Renee, biggest takeaway, Renee.
Two things for me, just really solidifying the acts where they start and finish.
Yeah.
And just, I wrote down, and it's a lot of symbolism. Like that symbolism to me is rich, and it really helps to reinforce the storyline.
Yeah, that's good. Anyone else want to share? Takeaway, first hour?
It's okay to get your idea out on the page, but then find a creative way to show it instead of just telling it.
That was my major takeaway. All right, we're back in. What page are we on?
We're on page 22. So what I'm about to go over the next few pages is different ways to break down your script. And you would take your script home. I mean, they give you the thing and you're in the writer's room, but you don't just stop there. You take your stuff home. And if you have later episodes some writers will wait. If you have, like I have the last 2 episodes of the season, then I'm not, but they don't usually do it. It's usually I get the first, well, the showrunner usually gets the first and the last, right? And you want to write, but that also said a lot about your character. Because I promise y'all, I'm a fighter, but had I walked a mile and done this and done that, I would not have come in and been chipper and happy and sat down with y'all. I would have been like, okay, y'all give me a minute. I need to go and I need to debrief. Because I'm the person that is 0 to 10. So I'm somebody that's really nice and whatever. And then if I get crossed, if you make me angry or if I have to go through something, I go to the extreme and then I got to bring myself back down.
Gemini.
Absolutely. All day. All day. 0 to 10. We be the nicest, and then I'll be like, you're dead to me.
No.
And when I think you're dead to me, I mean like, you're dead to me. I'll speak to you, but you will never hear from me again.
Oh, his brother dead. His brother dead. I want everybody.
I don't even go in the city that you was born in. So those are the things you have to use with dialogue. Like think about people with signs and think about things like that. And put that into your script. Argue. Conflict is good. Make bad people. Make them argue. You can always bring it in. The hard part is taking it there. Because we want to write nice people. We want to write nice characters. We want to write nice stories. We don't want to write bad, flawed, especially black women. We are black women, so we don't ever want to write a bad black woman. But we can write a flawed black woman and it not be bad. Especially if she's a redemptive character and she's been through some things. It's actually a testimony. You know what I mean? So we can put that on paper. She's not always smiling, and it's okay.
This is the satellite because she remembers the old oak tree near the school down by Miss Mamie's house should take her to the right location.
Miss Mamie.
Come on, Miss Mamie.
I don't know. And if she's on her way to meet Miss Mamie?
No, she's going to the
She's
family.
going to the family reunion.
Well, I mean, she's on her way down the road where she remembered Miss Mamie. There are people who eat
other people, cannibals, but she isn't aware. So these people are very welcoming. However, she doesn't know that they eat other people.
There we go. Yeah, I think
So
that's
this
good
is
right
where
there.
the GPS is taking her? Okay.
A cannibal
So she
village.
goes out the window to see if they will give her better directions, and they say, step
Now
out of the
raise the
car,
stakes.
you can hear us better.
But
Y'all got stakes, y'all gotta raise the
right,
stakes.
but then she did have like a intuition moment where she felt like, I can figure this out, let me keep going, but she doesn't follow her intuition.
Right.
She gets out of the car.
And she looks around, and they really do look friendly because she see older people. She see people her age. It's like a family affair. So she's like, she feel like I should keep going, but looking at them, I can trust them.
Raise the stakes.
But then
So
she
go in the house. Did she go in the house?
the house. I was gonna say she hears.
She notices a weapon.
Or no.
Stop.
I want to say she hears. Y'all said she had a son.
Yes, she has the son.
She
The son
hears her. She hears her grandson voice coming out of the house.
Oh,
And
here we
she's like,
go.
wait a minute.
And as she's get out of the car, because she hears the voice, she realizes her phone is dead.
Yeah, because that's when she's like, oh wait, am I tripping? I didn't really want to get out, but they told me to step out. They being friendly. Am I over guessing myself? But then I hear my grandson voice in the house. Is my grandson there? I go to call my grandson. My phone is dead.
Maybe she doesn't realize
And then
that's the family because it's the husband's family. So maybe she's like, maybe he's
Maybe this husband.
Okay, but
That
then,
is the cannabis.
but she gotta get in the house. So she thinks she hears her grandson's voice. So she has to figure out a way to get in the house. She's like, do you have a bathroom I can use?
Alright, so Lucy's in the house.
In the house, checking doors.
I
Yeah.
believe so.
I don't know if she has her glasses or not, because y'all didn't pick up that night. She might or might not.
A phone charger, actually. Can you help me with that? And the man that she ran into actually has Alzheimer's, so he just takes her directly to a phone charger.
Okay.
I like that. I like that. Cause he the one that kind of almost helped. Never mind.
Alright.
The phone charger is in the kitchen where there are 4 people cooking.
What they cooking, girl? Body parts.
body parts.
She asks what they're cooking.
This is, your like stakes are high, everything should be happening, scenes are moving faster. Okay.
So they're dragging her. First she's unconscious. By the time she gets inside they push her inside of the cabin, and they try to lock the door, and then she wakes up and she starts fighting.
Okay, if she starts fighting, they knock her out. Again. When she comes to, she comes to, she's in a grave.
She what?
She's in a grave.
Oh, snap. Okay. She's in a grave.
Yes. And she's totally like hysterical.
She notices that in the grave, she's also chained.
And she's 60.
Got it. And she's 60. Alright, so they pull her up, put her on the table. She looks over. She sees her, the voice of her grandson.
She sees
Turns
the voice
out,
of her
or she sees where the voice of her grandson's coming from.
And this is the end, right?
Yeah. And she has to die.
Okay, so plot twist. Her son is a priest, and he shows up because he was tracking the
There you go.
Tesla.
Yes, you, my friend, you brought it back. You made it all make, and he's a priest. Come on, God.
Won't he do? Won't he?
So, yeah, priest shows up and kicks the door in.
Kicks the door in.
Performs the exorcist.
Exercises all the demons in the house.
Not exorcist.
And she.
He exorcist or exercise?
He exercises.
Did I do that right? Did I say that right? Exercise.
She got rid of her.
No. The little boy was the demon.
Lucy decides that she's gonna sacrifice her life for her son. As it came
She
here.
old anyway.
Yeah, she about to go.
60's not that old. Well, I mean, older than her son. Most parents are gonna.
Everybody older than their son.
Come on, never mind.
logical.
And so now these 4 people decide that they're gonna pull her out of this grave. And
she's on the plate already.
She already on the plate. Okay, what do they just they start feasting on her, and they let the sun go.
He has to live with it.
The end. Lucy's.
The moral of the story is update your software.
And you gotta remember all of the points that you kind of want to put into the story.
I mean, well, we're just setting it up, right?
Yeah.
You still have to, that's really important. You're setting up the points.
All right, so boom. This homeless man has been.
So boom.
What's his name?
What's his name?
Jeffrey.
Okay.
Jeffrey. Comedy, right?
It is.
So Jeffrey has been homeless for years and years, and nobody's given him anything for months.
First thing he's gonna do is help all of his homeless people, all of his fellow homeless friends. Because
They're not called homeless people anymore. They're called, what are they called now?
Unhoused.
Unhoused.
They're called unhoused. So he decides to help all of his unhoused friends and neighbors building an outdoor recreation center.
So they're very upset at Jeffrey right now. So Jeffrey decides, instead of doing that, I'm gonna give each individual person.
Oh, can I get it? Can I?
You're
Yes.
in the end.
Okay. So instead of that, Jeffrey decides I'm actually going to help build houses for these people, for my homeless friends first. So he tries to build them their houses by hand instead of actually hiring contractors. And it's a disaster. It's an absolute disaster, but he still wants to gift all of these friends, it's about 15 friends, these houses.
Okay. We still don't know who Jeffrey is.
Oh, Jeffrey became homeless because.
Thank you. That's the story. You're the setup. You're the setup.
Yeah, Jeffrey was he was a clinical psychologist.
I like where you're going. He's that.
But
he got addicted
Throw a
to
mental
opioids.
health wrench in there.
Okay.
He got addicted to
opioid
opioids.
addiction.
Yeah.
There we go. Mental health issue.
That just kind of spiraled him into losing his family and home and his practice.
Okay, but he's smart. Clearly.
Smart and altruistic.
I wish I was on that side so bad.
And he's a good person of the homeless community. He does offer advice to his friends based off of his his prior experience and his prior knowledge. So he's, a good asset in the homeless community. But he's really trying to pocket all of this billions of dollars.
Life, the movie Life. You know how it was a comedy, but they was dealing with real stuff. Mm-hmm. So what if?
Martin it is.
Right, because it is a comedy.
It is a comedy,
That's what I'm trying to
right?
ask.
So what if? What's his name? Jeffrey had an opioid addiction, so it's a mental health crisis that we're dealing with. But most homelessness is the mental health crisis, right? But because he was a psychologist, he still is very smart, and so he gets to know all the people, like he gets the $1 billion, he wants to build this thing, but he's coming into conflict with the system on permits, this, that, trademark,
He's
all
not
this
even
other
going
stuff.
that way. He's trying to build it himself.
Right, but I'm saying he gets blocked.
It's so many elements that go into, again, script writing.
Yeah. Great job, ladies. All right, I'm done with my takeaways. What's the takeaway? Second half of the day, what's the takeaway? Biggest takeaway.
To keep building on the story, that the first draft isn't going to have everything. It's not going to be, perfect or complete, but just keep building and keep going.
Keep building.
I think that for me the biggest takeaway was, even if you have this story, just having the complete structure and everything I like the checklist in the book so I can go through, because even though I have outlines, it's like, okay, I'm thinking about my outlines, did I include this, did I have that? So knowing that I thought that I had not been proactive by not writing the script, but it's actually, I have, but I haven't done all the pre-work.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm realizing the pre-work.
Like you kind of on track with it.
Yeah, it's like I was on track. Like you have a lot of it out, but it's like now I have to go. Now it'll be so much easier to write it. I feel like now that I have the checklist and the intentionality, how they're married together. So like, and I my degrees in film and television. So like I learned that about what she was talking about, how you shoot and shooting from this angle. Like I learned that in school, but now learning with the writing, it's like for a good film, they
everything, like
It's everything.
It's married.
It's everything.
The writing is intentional.
Yeah,
everything.
the nuances, the
Yeah.
signage you see in the back, the
Costume.
just everything,
The
like
costume.
the
Yeah.
world, like
The world.
the world is so intentional.
It's-
Even when you
every
said,
part.
"Oh, I didn't notice that picture of such and such behind," when she was talking to her mom at her mom's house, and behind them was a picture.
It's
of
a picture of Rick Springfield.
Yeah, Rick Springfield. That, I mean, having a picture of Rick Springfield in your house like tells a lot about your personality.
About the mom, right?
Yes.
A lot about the mom. And the mom is living in
Yes.
exactly. Her mom is painting all these pictures, and she's painting pictures of rock stars.
Yeah.
And her mom's kind of quirky.
So it sets up like
Everything
in
tells-
most black movies, you'll see an Ernie Barnes photo
Yeah,
in the
right,
back.
yeah.
So it's like just the world, the nuances, the wardrobe, the props, and set design you use for your set.
It benefits me to be around you. You know what I mean? It benefits me. It makes me happy. I love to see you shine. If my resume can help you shine, then great. Let that usually help you shine. But on top of that, just as a personal person, as a friend, like I love being around you because I'm like, she has something, she has a gift that I don't have. I want to use that gift. I want that gift to magnify my gift. And my gift can magnify her gift. And that's how it's supposed to be. So sometimes I just be like, sometimes even I'm like, I don't want to do what Ernestine wants me to do. She wants to get up here and talk to people. But I'm trying to live in my obedience and be obedient. And I'm like, okay, let me just go do because you'll say, this is going to work for you. This is going to benefit you. And I'm like, okay, Ernestine. And I trust you because I've seen what you can do.
Be here Tuesday at 6 o'clock.
So yeah, so I'm very, very.
And we met through a mutual. So Terry Vaughn, who is her partner, is my friend as well, and my mentor. And I was Terry's friend. I was Terry's little.
Terry has a bunch. Terry, when she was in her 20s, Terry has all these little 20-year-old friends. And I was like, I'm not messing with them 20-year-old friends. So she would be like, we're getting together, we're doing this.
I'm 24. Terry's like in her late 40s, hanging around with me, and then she brought me around Cass, and Cass used to never say nothing. I used to be like, I don't think she likes me. It wasn't that. Whenever I call Rain, I'm like, Rain, I gotta create a treatment. Rain, I got this idea. Rain, I want to do this. Rain pulls up. She don't ask for nothing. She pours. She sows, and I'm just grateful that I get to pour back into you.
Absolutely.
And your name is Rain, and it is about to be a raining season for you.
Amen.
What God is about to do in your life is about to be so amazing. Rain, you pour.
You
invest, and when your name is She Reigns, watch how she reigns.
Right.
Your time
and
is
you got
coming.
a testimony, girl.
Your time
You
is
have
coming,
been
Rain. It truly is. You're a writer. You're getting stronger. You're getting better. You're making the right alignments and connectivity, and you show up. And God is going to bless you abundantly, and I can't wait to be there and be like, yes, Rain, it is your fucking turn. I cannot wait. So thank you. I appreciate you for always showing up.
I appreciate y'all for calling me, including me, trusting me. You know,
Yeah.
y'all really trust, like even with the film, even with Cass, like.
Yeah, like, the whole picture film. Rain didn't know what she was doing, but she figured it out.
I need this, go do it. Rain, I think I how to get on Wikipedia. Go do it. Rain. She's like, all right.
I'll get you up a little bit, because one thing I heard your friend say, Dr. Wiggins, I believe in my ability to figure it out.
Yes.
And it's like, I pray about it, I ask God to lead me, and I figure it out. Like, and I know He put y'all in my life for a reason, He in y'all life for a reason, and I love y'all.
Now we've taken a whole cat away from his family.
Not you care about the cat's family.
I don't want to separate the cat's family because I don't want the cat. Cat's going to the pound. That's not good. That would be good.
All right, guys, we have concluded the Ultimate Writers Retreat. Our 2 days is over. It's about 7 a.m. Monday morning, and we are heading back to Atlanta. The trip was a super success. Every woman felt like the investment was super worth it. They invested in themselves, in their futures. It was super great, impactful. Cass taught a master class. Listen, it was so valuable. Cass's work booklet alone is years of knowledge. So it was really great, really excited for all the women that came and what's to come for them. Great synergy, great energy. And we're saying goodbye to our lovely cabin. This was our home for the last 72 hours. And now we're heading back to Atlanta. And the ladies are shipping on out. Juan Ray has held us down the whole weekend.
Hey, let's go.
Everyone is shipping on out. 2-day cabin retreat trip. This is what it looked like. This is what it felt like. We came, we saw, we conquered. It was a success. Thank you, God, for an amazing, safe stay. All right, 7 in the morning, getting back on the road to Atlanta. Make sure the door is locked.
Go. All right. Give it lock.